This is the brand new Narwal Freo X Ultra. Narwal is sponsoring this video, and they say that it is the most innovative robot vacuum cleaner they've ever made. It has 8,200 pascals of suction. It can detect where your floor is dirty and go mop it over and over until it's clean, and it has an actual zero anti-tangle brush roll. Now these are some very big claims, so of course we need to test them. Links are down below, including any applicable discount codes and special offers. Let's start with the zero tangle brush. Nearly every robot vacuum that I have tested has gotten hair tangled up in the roller. Narwal says they have a solution to this that is actually going to be completely tangle-free. They've got this floating design where the brush is only attached to one side. It's kind of floating. And you can see we have alternating bristles and sort of soft silicone style pads. In this conical shape, they say it's going to push all of the hair into here and stop the tangles. We're going to have to try this out in just a minute. I've just put a ridiculous amount of hair on this carpet. I've got cat hair, I've got dog hair, I've got some 6-inch human style hair, I've got some longer hair, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to smush it into the carpet, and then we're going to see exactly how anti-tangle the Narwal really is. Okay, just finished vacuuming the carpet. Let's see how much tangles are on here. Absolutely none at all. That is incredible. That is absolutely the best anti-tangle system I've ever seen in any robot vacuum. Now this is a competing vacuum, and you can see that the hair definitely can get tangled up on the roller and sometimes around the ends of it also. It also has 2 edge brushes to keep your baseboards clean. Narwal says that the Freo X Ultra is ultra low maintenance, and the anti-tangle brush roll definitely is a part of that, but there's some other features we're going to look at too. We scattered a mix of sand, cereal, sprinkles, and hair onto hardwood, and then we set it to maximum suction and let it do its thing. It had no problem picking up everything we left for it with a couple of passes. Then we tried the exact same test on medium pile carpet. Again, we set it to maximum suction and 3 passes, and again it had no problem picking up everything we left. Now of course, sand and cereal aren't the only things you need to pick up, so we set up an obstacle course. For obstacle avoidance and navigation, most robot vacuums use a single laser. The Narwal has got 3. You've got one on top to identify larger objects like shoes and toys. You've got a laser in front to identify lower facing objects. It helps it move around objects and get super close to them. Let's see how close it can get. We've set up a bit of an obstacle course to see how well it navigates while it's vacuuming up. So we got a shoe, we got a remote control, we got a drink bottle, and hopefully it's going to vacuum up this coffee, cereal, pet hair, and 6-inch human hair, and a little bit of sand. Let's see how it does. See how it does with the drink bottle. Very good. It does fairly well on our obstacle course, which is mostly larger objects. Now let's look at mopping. A lot of robot vacuums have mopping pads, but Narwal has taken a rather different approach. Instead of being round, these are actually triangular, and when you have round pads, you have a spot down the middle that tends to not get very good coverage and you can leave a streak. But these are triangular, and so as they're moving and rotating, you can see there's always contact between the 2 pads, and that means you're not going to have any streaks down the middle, and this increases the contact patch of the whole pad system. What also makes these pads different is that they are made of microfiber, and they're designed to hold 2 times the water of a regular pad. And when you want to wash them, just peel this off, throw this in the washing machine. And these are magnetic, so when you're done, these just pop right back on like that. Another thing that they do to improve the mopping effectiveness is that these pads put a downward force on your floor of actually 2.6 pounds, which I think is the highest of any robot vacuum that I've tested so far. Imagine there was a vacuum that could detect where your floor was dirty and then continue to clean it until it was actually clean. So Narwal calls this technology AI Dirt Sense. Using its sensors and AI, it can go check and see if an area is still dirty, and if it is, it'll keep remopping it until the area is actually clean. It'll even go back to the dock, wash and clean the mops, and then head out again until the floor is basically as clean as you want it. We got ourselves a big old mess on the floor. I let this dry overnight. We got some soda, we got some soy sauce, we got some coffee, and we have a big old red wine stain. The vacuum is supposed to recognize where it's extra dirty and keep cleaning until it's done. Let's see if it can do it. It's heading back to the dock to clean the mop, and then it's gonna come out again. These soy sauce stains are really dried in. They're a little bit crunchy too. And you can see coffee over there too, also kind of dried in. Pretty good first pass. It did take a couple passes, but it's now back cleaning itself at the docking station, and you can see that my floor is completely clean. None of those stains are left. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of soy sauce on here, and we're gonna see just exactly how effective the cleaning is after we send it back to the dock. All right, let's see how clean it is. Oh, Pussycat wants to get in the action. All right, these mops look pretty clean to me. That did a really good job. It vacuums and mops in separate passes. So if you've got carpet in your room, it's going to lift up the mops by 12 millimeters to keep your carpets dry. The base station has 2 water tanks, and when you're adding clean water, you can also use this lemon and basil floor cleaner, which actually fits conveniently into the base station, and it'll add the cleaner automatically as you clean. And when the dirty water tank fills up, it gives you an alert. You can dump it out, and you're ready to go again. The Freo X Ultra has a clever way of keeping things clean. When most robots return to the base station, they empty the dry dust into a bag on the station. Narwal says that a lot of the dust can actually get stuck inside the station, so they've taken a different approach. The Freo X Ultra stores the dirt and dust inside a bag on the robot, and then it compresses it after doing a cleaning cycle. They say you can go about 7 weeks without having to dispose the bag. But if you don't like the idea of replaceable bags, Narwal has got a standard container that you can take out of the robot and empty it out. One of the biggest complaints I see on social media is that while a robot might be good, the app doesn't work well. The Freo X Ultra gives you multiple options to vacuum your room. You can mop and then vacuum and then mop, and so forth. The app is pretty responsive, and it's pretty easy to set a specific cleaning area in your home. I can set it over here, go vacuum the carpet, and then hit this button. While it's mopping, you can see exactly where the robot is and track its progress. And when it's done, you can see it return to the base station, and it is now washing the mop. You can set up a new scheduled cleaning task any day of the week. You can tell it what room to mop, if you want it to mop and vacuum, and so forth. If you've got a multi-story house like I do, you can set it up so that you can have a separate map for each level, and it's pretty easy to set up no-go zones. And you can customize how it's going to clean for you with how many times it's going to mop, the suction power, the humidity, and if you're gonna do standard or meticulous cleaning. And if you don't have your phone with you or it's not handy, you can use this display on top to do basic functions like to tell it to go start cleaning. People always ask me how loud a robot vacuum is, so we tested it. In the default vacuuming mode, it's about 54 dB. With strong suction, it's about 55 decibels, and with maximum suction, it's about 63 decibels. And for reference, an office conversation is somewhere around 68 to 70 decibels. So it's not a loud robot vacuum at all. The Freo X Ultra is a flagship vacuum that is designed to reduce the amount of time you need to spend maintaining it. It's got very good suction, and the anti-tangle brush roll is actually the most effective and the best I've ever seen in any cleaning robot. In the entire time I used it, it never got a tangle stuck on the brush roll. That's actually pretty impressive. The mopping is pretty effective. It uses a lot of water, and with the dual rotating triangular mopping pads, it does a really good job at day-to-day mopping. All the details are at the links down below.